Crawford's about to fight.
Yes, he's going to fight Canelo.
Oh, man.
I just hope he's big enough. I think he's that good. He's just so skillful. He's so slick. And when he gets, and he's also the best guy in the sport at switch hitting. He'll go from southpaw to orthodox and be just as good and trip you up. Like you think he's going to start southpaw, he starts orthodox. You prepare for orthodox, he's fighting southpaw.
Because you're talking about Crawford. He's the
weight classes.
He's the most composed guy. What, you don't think he'll be prepared? You think it'll be a shock to him? No. He's already moved up 3 weight classes.
Joe Rogan and other big analysts are shocked after watching Terence Crawford new training footage ahead of his fight with Canelo Alvarez. On the other end, Canelo Alvarez is also intensifying his training for the potential Terence Crawford fight, focusing on strength, speed, and endurance. His camp emphasizes strategy, sparring, and maintaining peak conditioning for elite performance. However, Terence Crawford stays in elite shape year-round, but Joel Diaz does not believe that will be enough against Canelo Alvarez. He sees the size and power difference as too much to overcome. Diaz points out that Canelo took clean shots from Gennady Golovkin without backing down and doubts Crawford, moving up 2 full weight classes, can handle that kind of power. In his view, skill alone cannot make up for the physical gap.
A lot of people that say that Crawford can beat Canelo, no problem. I mean, I respect that, but I just think they're stupid. I mean, excuse my language. The size difference of a bigger man changes everything with one punch. And I can see the same thing. I mean, you saw Canelo Alvarez fighting Amir Khan. Now, look at this. Terence Crawford moved from 47 to 54 to fight Madrimov. What did he do to Madrimov? Nothing. Okay, Madrimov was a 54-pounder. Now, to move up to 168, that's 2 more divisions. Canelo Alvarez will take any punch from Crawford, but I don't think Crawford will take any punches from Canelo. Remember, Canelo got hit by Triple G, the heaviest hitter in that division. And Canelo took those shots like a champ. I don't think Crawford has anything to beat Canelo.
Jaron Boots Ennis also sees Canelo Alvarez as the favorite against Terence Crawford. In his view, Canelo's proven ability to handle and hurt larger opponents, some rehydrating near 200 pounds, makes a big difference. Despite not being a true super middleweight, Canelo still drops bigger fighters with ease. Ennis believes that kind of punching power is a serious threat and thinks it's a key reason why Canelo should be the pick in this matchup.
But I think you gotta lean more towards Canelo because, like I said before, he been pitting big guys out and down. And Canelo not even really a 68-pounder. He probably really should be at 60, maybe. And he been hurting these guys. I think he be dropping these guys and things like that. So, and them guys be way bigger than him come fight night. I know that for sure. They be probably close to 200 pounds, and he dropping those guys like that. So, I don't know. It's gonna be a great fight. The fans want to see it. So,
still, Terence Crawford is grinding hard in camp, showing unmatched drive and laser-sharp focus. He's adding muscle, sharpening his stamina, and training with serious purpose, clearly gearing up for a major test. Every session reflects his hunger and readiness to step up. Moreover, Teddy Atlas dismissed doubts about Terence Crawford's composure, saying it's laughable to even question it. He emphasized that Crawford, despite potentially jumping 6 weight classes, remains one of the calmest, most controlled fighters in the sport. Atlas praised Crawford's rare ability to slow the action down in the ring, seeing things others miss, He highlighted Crawford's timing as elite, better than anyone's, and credited his power, speed, technique, and coaching. With those intangibles, Atlas believes you can't count Crawford out, no matter the size difference or opponent.
How is Crawford, his composure going to be like the moment a punch lands on him from Canelo?
Are you kidding me? Take that question back.
Yeah, why?
Because you're talking about Crawford. He's
But what weight classes?
he's the most composed guy. What, you don't think he'll be prepared? You think it'll be a shock to him? No. He's already moved up 3 weight classes. So now you're talking 6 if you add on 3. Crawford has the ability to slow things down in the ring that very few people have, and to see things that nobody else can see because he slows it down. Yeah, he's got great power. He carried it up. Yeah, he's got good hand speed. Yeah, he's got all that. He's got good technique. His coaches do a tremendous job with him. But the timing is impeccable. It's better than anyone else's. Why? Because of this. When a guy has that ingredient, and very, very few have, I can't count him out in anything.
However, new training footage of Terence Crawford has fans and analysts stunned. He looks sharper, stronger, and more explosive than ever, showcasing incredible speed and power. The intensity and precision in every movement have sparked serious buzz, with many now rethinking how competitive he'll be against Canelo Alvarez. Crawford means business.
Never notice, 'cause I do what I'm supposed to. Secure them and keep going. Ain't nobody life hurt, especially mine. I'm working on it though. I'm getting rid of felonies now. My credit.
Moreover, Joe Rogan praised Terence Crawford as a rare talent, calling him incredibly skillful and slick. He highlighted Crawford's elite ability to switch stances seamlessly, saying he's the best in the sport at it. Rogan emphasized Crawford's precision, fight IQ, and deep understanding of positioning, timing, and anticipating what's coming next.
I think he's that good. He's just so skillful. He's so slick. And when he gets, and he's also the best guy in the sport at switch hitting. He'll go from southpaw to orthodox and be just as good and trip you up. Like you think he's going to start southpaw, he starts orthodox. You prepare for orthodox, he's fighting southpaw. He feels like he's got you timed better orthodox, he'll switch it up. You know,
super accurate.
Oh,
Like,
just knows so much about boxing, about where to be and what's coming. And
Dimitri Bivol also expressed his views, stating that Terence Crawford genuinely wants the fight with Canelo Alvarez and will be more active than Canelo's previous opponent. Bivol praised Crawford's champion mentality, which he believes will make the fight more exciting. On the weight difference, Bivol noted that Crawford will not allow Canelo to control the pace of the fight in the same way he did in his last bout. He suggested that with Crawford, it will be harder for Canelo to take breaks. When asked who would win, Bivol admitted he wasn't sure, but called it a highly intriguing matchup.
I think Crawford wants this fight a lot. He wants this fight, and I think he will be more active than Canelo's previous opponent, and he has different mentality. He has champion mentality. I think the fight will be much more interesting.
What do you make of the weight in that fight, the weight difference?
I think Crawford will not let Canelo just walking on the ring when he wants, you know, because we could see this fight. Canelo did everything. When he want to rest, he could rest easy, you know, in this fight. Yeah, of course, when he wants to work, that guy didn't give him work. He just rest. And I think with Crawford, it will be harder to rest.
Who do you think wins?
I don't know. It's a very interesting fight, but I don't know.
Amir Khan shared his thoughts on the potential Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford fight, calling it an even bigger and more thrilling matchup now. He acknowledged that while Canelo is the naturally larger and heavier fighter, Crawford's recent performance has raised new questions about the outcome. Khan believes that size and power alone won't decide the fight. Instead, fighters will need a strong ring IQ, speed, strategy, and complete boxing skills. He views the fight as a clash between two of the best pound-for-pound boxers, and despite Crawford giving up weight, it remains a close and unpredictable contest that could go either way.
But it's made a bigger fight happen now with Canelo and Crawford. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that one.
Is there more question marks being asked in that fight now? Because a lot of people say, look, Canelo's a bigger guy. He should technically be the bigger guy, have too much weight for Crawford, but from that performance, do you feel like it's a lot tighter and there's a lot more question marks in that fight?
Yeah, I mean, you need more than size, you need more than weight, you need more than everything. I mean, I think what you need now is you just need box IQ, the right box IQ, you know what I mean? You need to be smart. And someone like Canelo fighting against Crawford, you need more than power, you need more than speed, you need ring IQ, you need literally everything, because this is the two best pound for pound fighters who are going to be fighting each other, even though Crawford is going to be giving away a lot of weight. But I feel that it could go either way.
Keith Thurman believes Terence Crawford has a real shot at beating Canelo Alvarez, but only if he takes his preparation to another level. He says Crawford must push beyond limits, training in extreme conditions like high elevations and dialing in every aspect of his performance, both physically and mentally. According to Thurman, Crawford needs to sharpen his ring IQ, stay one step ahead, and mentally visualize every scenario.
I don't want to say it's impossible for my boy Crawford, but it's one of those things where if he really wants to win against Canelo, he's going to need to do everything. You know, you're going to need to run uphill. You're going to need to train in high altitude. You're going to need to do every little thing that gives you that, you know, athletic edge, and lots of pre-fight meditate. You know, you got to see victory before the victory manifests. You know, whether I'm going to set the trap, he's going to want to counter me, and so I'm going to counter his counter.
Thurman also raised concerns about how the added weight could affect Crawford's agility, questioning if he can still move with the same sharpness. However, he suggested that with the right approach, including advanced recovery methods and cutting-edge training, Crawford could close the gap. If everything clicks, Thurman sees an upset is entirely possible.
I don't want to say it's impossible for my boy Crawford, but it's one of those things where it needs to be planned out, trained out, and methodically, you know, delivered on a fight night. And then the other thing is how athletic is he going to move with the extra weight on top of him. So, you know, like I said, it's just very important to train, to have the best camp that you can have, the high altitude, get all that oxygen, and just use all those little biohacking things to your advantage. To make an upset.
Hamza Ashira's weighed in, predicting Canelo Alvarez will win by knockout, primarily due to the weight difference. He pointed out that making the leap from 154 to 168 pounds and facing one of the best fighters is a huge challenge, even for someone as talented as Crawford. However, Shiras noted that Crawford should never be counted out completely, though he believes Canelo will likely get the knockout.
I think Canelo does win by knockout. I think he does win by knockout. And that's only because of the weight. You can't jump up from 54 to 68 fighting the best of the best, even though you're the best yourself. It's too much of a weight jump, man. But listen, you never know. You can't write off Crawford, but I think Canelo will knock him out.
Frank Warren expressed strong excitement over the possibility of a clash between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez, calling it an electrifying contest that fans would love to see. He mentioned that if the right promoters and decision-makers come together, this bout could definitely materialize. Warren remains hopeful and considers the fight essential for revitalizing interest in boxing across the U.S., emphasizing the need for high-stakes matchups to keep the sport thriving.
Look, if it's done, I mean, as a boxing fan, I can't wait to see that fight. It's a fabulous fight. If anyone can get it done, His Excellency's the man, and you know, he's been a massive fan of both those guys, and I know when we've sat down, or when we sit down and talk about up and coming shows, that's one he's always said he'd love to see, and I'm pretty positive that it will happen, and fingers crossed they get that over the line, because what a fight that'll be between those two, and a great fight for American boxing.
Yes.
You know, it's a real great fight. I mean, you need great fights there.
Meanwhile, Caleb Plant spoke highly of both fighters, praising Crawford's elite skill set and rare adaptability. He pointed out Crawford's capacity to seamlessly switch stances and land powerful punches from multiple distances. Plant shared his anticipation for the potential showdown, stating that while the matchup is full of unknowns, it's exactly that unpredictability that makes it so compelling for boxing fans.
Terence is not a regular guy. You know what I'm saying? He's special. And, you know, Canelo, he's a top-notch fighter, world-class fighter. Still on the pound-for-pound list, I'm sure towards somewhere near the top. And it's exciting. You know, Terence is freakishly strong. He can punch, he's got good crack. He can fight from both ways. Orthodox southpaw, he can fight at mid-range, close range, outside. And he can fight going both ways. So it's exciting. It's exciting. It's a big question mark on the end of it, though. So that's why, you know, I'm sure all of us are excited for that bell to ring and, you know, be able to find out firsthand.
Roy Jones Jr. weighed in, calling the potential fight an exciting matchup for boxing. He acknowledged that some may question how it will play out, but believes the fight could go either way, depending on Canelo's approach. Jones warned that if Canelo fights recklessly, he could lose, but if he uses a smart strategy, the fight will be very difficult for Crawford. For Crawford, Jones emphasized the importance of coming in at the weight limit and maximizing his strength, as staying within the weight limit could be crucial for his success in the bout.
Bud, Canelo, you know, done deal. Looks like the fight is signed. What's your thoughts on this fight, man?
Man, it's a great fight for boxing. I know people don't agree with it, but if Canelo fights one inkling of the wrong fight, he's gonna lose. If he comes out and fights the right fight, it's gonna be a tough one. So right now, I think it can go either way, but it depends on what type of fight Canelo fights.
You've been a guy that's been in weight class. How do you think Terence Crawford should handle the weight? Should he come in lighter? Should he come right around the weight limit?
Come in as big as he can get. If you get to the weight limit, because there is a weight limit, get to the weight limit.
Edgar Berlanga, while recognizing Crawford's legendary status and exceptional skills, believes that Canelo Alvarez has the advantage when it comes to size and weight. While Berlanga respects Crawford's intelligence and his ability to compete with and potentially outperform anyone, he still points out that Canelo's physical edge cannot be ignored. He urges fans not to underestimate Crawford, despite Canelo's advantage in size.
I truly believe, that, anything can happen in boxing, you know what I'm saying? And Terence Crawford is a legend. He's great. He's a great fighter. The only thing I see that I favor Canelo is that his weight.
Yeah.
And that he's more bigger. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing. But as far as skill set wise, IQ, I feel like Crawford can match anybody and probably do way better. You know what I'm saying? But Crawford is a legend, bro.
Yeah.
And like I said, you can't.
Errol Spence Jr. expressed confidence in Terence Crawford's ability to challenge Canelo Alvarez and accomplish something extraordinary. Spence voiced his support for Crawford, saying he would back him in the fight, though he is unsure of the outcome. He believes that Crawford, in his pursuit of greatness, is capable of rising to the challenge. Spence also noted that since Canelo has fought at 175 pounds against opponents like Sergey Kovalev, Crawford, who started his career at 147 pounds, should be able to step up and meet the challenge as well.
I mean, it could happen. I mean, why not? If Crawford want to challenge himself to be great, let him try to be great, So, you know what I'm saying? I'm with it. So, I'll be going for Bud, if he fight Canelo, I'll be going for him. I mean, I don't know if he's gonna win or lose, but I definitely be going Crawford. I think if anybody can pull it off, he can pull it off. He's chasing greatness, so why not? Canelo came up to 175 and all that, and fought Kovalev and fought the other guy too. So I mean, if he can do it, and he started at 147. So I mean, if he's doing it, why can't Crawford do it?
Bozy Ennis shared his thoughts on how he would approach coaching Terence Crawford for a potential fight against Canelo Alvarez. Ennis emphasized the importance of movement, control, and precision. He suggested that Crawford should avoid the ropes, remain alert, and constantly change his rhythm to disrupt Canelo's timing. Given Canelo's immense power, Ennis believes Crawford needs to stay active, use his footwork effectively, maintain a tight guard, and create clever sit-ups to stay a step ahead throughout the fight.
Well, just what I would say. If I, was working with Terence or something like that, I would have him boxing, boxing, moving, and when he gets that time up, frustrating. You know what I mean? And that's the only way I can see him, Terence beating him. You know what I mean? Now, Canelo's a puncher, man. You know what I mean? So you can't be laying around on the ropes on him because he punch you in your arm and hurt you. You know what I mean? So you got to be on. You got to be on. I mean, boxing, moving, little shake here, little fake there. You know what I mean? Hands up. Got to be right, man. You know what I mean? I think that's going to be a great fight, man. People counting Terence out. I'm not counting him out.
Juan Manuel Marquez shared his concerns about the potential fight, acknowledging Crawford's impressive skills in lower weight classes such as super lightweight, welterweight, and super welterweight. However, Marquez expressed doubts about Crawford moving up further in weight, suggesting that it might not be the best decision. He referred to Crawford's performance against Madrimah, where Crawford appeared slower and less powerful, implying that a higher weight class could be challenging for him. While he praised Crawford's defense and punching technique, Marquez believes the weight difference could give Canelo a significant advantage in the fight.
I don't like the fight because Terence Crawford is a good fighter, but in the sport of boxing, it has divisions. You know what I mean? You know?
Right, weight classes.
You know what?
Right?
Yeah, weight classes
for a reason.
Weight classes for and Terence Crawford is a good fighter in super lightweight, welterweight, super welterweight, but I think more. I remember when Terence Crawford fought with Madrimah.
Yes.
He looks slow. He looks with no power, and three more divisions. Two more divisions. I think it's a top fight for Terence Crawford, but Terence Crawford is a great fighter. He has a great defense. He has a good combination punches, but I think the weight class is no good for him.
Andrew Ward expressed strong confidence in Terence Crawford's ability to face Canelo Alvarez, even with the challenge of moving up in weight. While he acknowledged the difficulty of the weight jump, Ward pointed out that no one has yet shown they can break Crawford's determination or outsmart him in the ring. He made it clear that he wouldn't bet against Crawford, as no one has proven they can defeat him. Ward stressed that his belief in Crawford's skills is not meant to diminish Canelo, but to highlight his trust in Crawford's ability to overcome any opponent.
I'm going with Terence Crawford. You know, big weight jump, a dangerous fight, but somebody's got to prove to me that they can break Terence Crawford's will and that he can't figure it out against you. You know, it ain't no disrespect toward Canelo, but I've said this the last couple of years. I'm not betting against Terence Crawford against nobody right now. You got to show me that you can beat him.
Mikey Garcia shared his perspective on the potential Crawford versus Canelo fight, admitting that he's not especially thrilled about it, but believes it will happen because of the huge financial incentives. Garcia mentioned that Crawford would probably take the fight due to the massive payday, which would be the biggest of his career. He also suggested that Canelo might see the fight as one where he has little to lose, even if he ends up losing. With a potential earnings of $80, $100 million or more, Garcia is confident Canelo would accept the challenge without hesitation.
I think they do the Crawford fight. I'm not very excited for it either, but I think they do it because so much money that's being poured out there, and Crawford obviously also would like to take that fight because he's gonna make the biggest paycheck ever. Canelo will see it like a fight that he's not gonna get hurt. Even if he were to lose that fight, he's not getting hurt.
Yeah.
But he is gonna collect fucking 80, 100 million or whatever the he's gonna collect. It's a lot of money. So he'll take it.
That's it for today's video. So what are your thoughts on this? Share your thoughts in the comment section and make sure to subscribe and like if you enjoyed the video. Also check other videos on the screen right now.